This course, Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum, introduces the concepts of new literacies in the 21st century as evolving social phenomena and shared cultural practices across learning areas. The 21st century literacies shall include globalization and multicultural literacy, social literacy, media literacy, financial literacy, cyber literacy or digital literacy, eco-literacy, and arts and creativity literacy. Field-based interdisciplinary explorations, example observation in mathematics, field studies, and other teaching strategies shall be used to develop pre-service teachers' teaching skills to promote learners' literacy, and critical and creative thinking skills. Pre-service teachers shall develop skills in using appropriate teaching strategies and resources, including the positive use of ICT, to address learning goals. Course outcomes. At the end of the course, the pre-service teachers can demonstrate content knowledge and its application within and/or across curriculum teaching areas. Demonstrate knowledge of teaching strategies that promote literacy skills. Apply teaching strategies that develop learners' critical and creative thinking and/or other higher-order thinking skills. Show skills in the selection, development, and use of variety of teaching and learning resources, including ICT, to address learning goals, and demonstrate skills in the positive use of ICT. Good day, future educators. Welcome to Unit 1 of Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum. This unit introduces the foundations of literacy, both traditional and modern, and equips you with strategies for 21st century teaching and learning. At the end of this unit, you, as pre-service teachers, can compare the basic concepts of traditional and 21st century literacies and skills. Explain the features and critical attributes of 21st century literacies. Apply 6 basic literacy strategies to analyze and interpret texts or multimedia content. This unit will be implemented during Week 2 to Week 3 of our course. Part A, Traditional Literacies. We begin with definitions of traditional literacies. These include traditional literacy, the ability to read and write. Functional literacy, the ability to use reading and writing in everyday life. Early or emergent literacy, the foundational skills developed in the early years. Basic literacy and skills, the essential competencies for communication and learning. Activity. We will engage in a socialized classroom discussion using the PPG chart. Each of you will write your prior knowledge, the concepts discussed, and the insights gained. Output. Group posters on the different literacies. Assessment and evaluation. Your posters will be evaluated based on clarity of concepts, creativity, and accuracy of definitions. Part B, 21st century literacies. Next, we define the literacies of the 21st century. These include globalization and multicultural literacy, social literacy, media literacy, financial literacy, cyber or digital literacy, eco-literacy, arts and creativity literacy. Activity. We will use the share pair circle strategy. You will form 2 circles, facing each other, and share your ideas on 21st century teaching and learning. After rotating partners, you will continue sharing with new peers. Output. Group posters highlighting the different 21st century literacies. Assessment and evaluation. Your participation in the share pair circle and the accuracy of your posters will be assessed through peer feedback and teacher evaluation. Part C, Features of 21st century teaching and learning. Teaching and learning today is characterized by integration and interdisciplinarity, use of technologies and multimedia, global classrooms, adaptation to constant change and lifelong learning, student-centered approaches, development of 21st century skills, project-based and research-driven learning, relevance, rigor, and real-world application. Activity. We will conduct an 8 corners activity. Each corner will exhibit 1 feature of 21st century teaching and learning. Groups will rotate, visit each corner, and write down key concepts. Output: simplified ideas and information visually presented through graphic organizers. Assessment and evaluation. Graphic organizers will be graded based on completeness, accuracy, and visual presentation. Part D: Critical Attributes of 21st Century Education. The critical attributes emphasize collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and communication. Learners are expected to connect knowledge across disciplines and apply learning in authentic contexts. Activity: whole group discussion in the form of a question and answer session. Output: graphic organizers presenting the attributes of 21st century education. Assessment and evaluation. Evaluation will focus on participation in discussion and the quality of the graphic organizers. Part E: Basic strategies for developing literacy. Finally, we highlight 6 basic strategies for developing literacy. Making connections. Visualizing. Inferring. Questioning. Determining importance. Synthesizing. Activity. We will have a lecture demonstration on these strategies, followed by class observation. You will observe a classroom teacher in situ, noting how literacy strategies are applied. Process. You will take field notes to document your observations. Output: observation reports and group demonstrations explaining and critiquing the strategies. Assessment and evaluation. Reports and demonstrations will be assessed based on depth of analysis, accuracy of observation, and effectiveness of critique. Summative assessment. At the end of the unit, you will take summative quizzes and, in groups of 5, create a poster on the different literacies. Evaluation. Summative quizzes will measure your understanding of concepts, while posters will be evaluated for creativity, accuracy, and teamwork. In conclusion, Unit 1 equips you with the ability to compare traditional and modern literacies, explain the features and attributes of 21st century education, and apply literacy strategies in authentic classroom contexts. Through discussions, group activities, observations, demonstrations, and summative assessments, you will not only understand these concepts but also practice them as future educators. This unit runs during week 2 to week 3.
Good day, future educators. Welcome to Unit 2 of Building and Enhancing New Literacies across the curriculum. This unit focuses on teaching strategies for the development of literacy skills and the effective use of teaching resources. At the end of this unit, you, as pre-service teachers, can demonstrate teaching strategies that promote learners' literacy, show skills in the selection, development, and use of age-appropriate instructional resources that enhance literacy, higher-order thinking, and creative thinking skills. Design activities appropriate for the development of literacy skills. This unit will be implemented during week 4 to week 5. Part A: Strategies for the development of emergent literacy skills and teaching resources. Emergent literacy involves the early stages of reading and writing. Strategies and resources include pictures and objects, letters and words, sounds, read aloud experiences. Activity. We begin with a lecture demonstration on teaching strategies that promote literacy. You will participate in an anticipation guide as a pre-reading activity, agreeing or disagreeing with statements about literacy strategies. Process. After the demonstration, you will conduct activities in a real classroom setting at the laboratory school. Output. Field-based activities demonstrating emergent literacy strategies. Assessment and evaluation. Your performance will be assessed based on clarity of demonstration, appropriateness of resources, and engagement with learners. Part B: Beginning reading skills and teaching resources. Beginning reading skills include phonemic awareness, phonics instruction, fluency instruction, vocabulary instruction, comprehension instruction. Activity. The class will be divided into 5 groups. Each group will discuss strategies for a particular literacy skill using the envoy strategy. Output. Group presentations on strategies for beginning reading skills. Assessment and evaluation. Evaluation will focus on accuracy of strategies, creativity in presentation, and collaboration within groups. Part C, Developing Functional Literacy. Functional literacy emphasizes practical application of reading and writing in daily life. Strategy. The participatory approach will be used to engage learners actively in functional literacy tasks. Output. Demonstrations of participatory activities that highlight functional literacy. Assessment and evaluation. Assessment will be based on learner participation and the relevance of activities to real-world contexts. Part D, 21st Century Literacy Skills and Teaching Resources. 21st century literacy skills require innovative approaches. These include student-led learning through cooperative learning, inquiry-based classroom environments, collaborative activities, higher-order thinking skills or HOTS activities, creative learning strategies. Activity. You will design and implement classroom activities that integrate these 21st century literacy skills. Output. Lesson demonstrations showcasing student-led, inquiry-based, and collaborative approaches. Assessment and evaluation. Your activities will be evaluated based on innovation, learner engagement, and alignment with 21st century skills. In summary, Unit 2 equips you with strategies for emergent literacy, beginning reading, functional literacy, and 21st century literacy skills. Through lecture demonstrations, anticipation guides, group discussions, participatory approaches, and classroom-based activities, you will practice designing and implementing effective literacy instruction. This unit runs during week 4 to week 5, and your outputs will be assessed through demonstrations, group presentations, observation reports, and summative evaluations. Welcome to Unit 3 of Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum. This unit focuses on the categories of 21st century skills and the teaching strategies that promote them. At the end of this unit, you, as pre-service teachers, can explain the different categories of 21st century skills. Demonstrate teaching strategies that promote the development of these skills in a particular subject area. This unit will be implemented during week 6. Part A, Learning Skills. The first category is learning skills, which include critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, activity. We will begin with a lecture demonstration on teaching strategies that promote learners' 21st century literacy skills. Output. You will prepare a graphic organizer that illustrates the use of these learning skills in classroom contexts. Assessment and evaluation. Your organizers will be evaluated based on clarity, accuracy, and creativity. Part B, Literacy Skills. The second category is literacy skills, which include information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy, activity. We will conduct small group discussions. Each group will study one skill category and later present their findings to another group. Process. This collaborative exchange ensures that all groups gain a comprehensive understanding of the literacy skills. Output. Group presentations supported by graphic organizers. Assessment and evaluation. Evaluation will focus on depth of analysis, accuracy of information, and effectiveness of group collaboration. Part C, Life Skills. The third category is life skills, which include flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, social skills, activity. We will use the number heads together strategy. The class will be grouped into 5 teams of equal number. Each member will be assigned a number. Questions on the categories of 21st century skills will be raised, and members will answer individually. Process. Groups will then discuss their answers using the graphic organizers they prepared. When a number is called, all members with that number will stand and present their group's answer. Summaries will be shared collectively. Output. Demonstrations of life skills through group responses and summaries. Assessment and evaluation. Evaluation will emphasize participation, accuracy of responses, and the demonstration of collaboration, leadership, and communication skills. Summative assessment. At the end of this unit, you will complete summative quizzes to measure your understanding of the categories of 21st century skills. A metacognitive report reflecting on how you applied these skills in learning activities. An oral recitation, where each member of the group will share ideas on the topic discussed. Evaluation. Your performance will be assessed based on comprehension, critical reflection, and active participation. In conclusion, Unit 3 equips you with the knowledge and strategies to explain, demonstrate, and apply the categories of 21st century skills: learning skills, literacy skills, and life skills. Through lecture demonstrations, group discussions, collaborative activities, and summative assessments, you will practice integrating these skills into authentic classroom contexts. This unit runs during week 6.
Welcome to Unit 4, Segment A of Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum. In this lesson segment, we focus on globalization and multicultural literacy, essential competencies for navigating diverse classrooms and global communities. At the end of lesson segment A, you, as pre-service teachers, can discuss concepts of globalization and multicultural literacy. Explain the dimensions of multiculturalism. Display skill in the use of mother tongue, Filipino, and English to convey ideas. Lesson A segment will be implemented during week 7. Content focus. We will explore the OECD Global Competence Framework, which highlights globalization, multiculturalism, intercultural communication, activities and processes. Lecture demonstration. We begin with a lecture demonstration on teaching strategies that promote learners' globalization and multicultural literacy skills. Film viewing. You will watch a video clip on multicultural literacy. Guide questions will be provided before the activity to help you focus on features that highlight multiculturalism. Simulation. You will simulate a scenario on multiculturalism. During this activity, you must use the mother tongue, Filipino, and English to convey ideas effectively. Process. Guide questions will be answered as you watch the video. Simulations will be performed in groups, emphasizing multilingual communication. Output. An analysis of the video clip, highlighting the dimensions of multiculturalism. A comic strip in your mother tongue that illustrates the key features of the film watched. Assessment and evaluation. Your performance will be assessed through summative quizzes to measure comprehension of globalization and multicultural literacy concepts. A metacognitive report reflecting on your learning process, insights, and application of multilingual communication. Evaluation of your comic strip and simulation activities based on creativity, accuracy, and effective use of languages. In summary, Unit 4A equips you with the ability to discuss globalization and multicultural literacy, explain the dimensions of multiculturalism, and demonstrate multilingual communication skills. Through lecture demonstrations, film viewing, simulations, and creative outputs, you will practice applying these literacies in authentic contexts. This first lesson segment of Unit 4 runs during week 7. Welcome to Unit 4 of Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum. In this segment, we focus on social literacy and media literacy, two essential literacies for navigating the 21st century classroom and society. At the end of these units, you, as pre-service teachers, can demonstrate social and people skills. Explain the advantages and disadvantages of media and information. Unit 4B will be implemented during week 8, and Unit 4C during week 9. Unit 4B, Social Literacy. Social literacy involves the ability to interact effectively with others, guided by empathy, respect, and awareness. Its components include social cognition and social skills, Emotional intelligence. People skills. Activity. We will begin with a lecture demonstration on teaching strategies that promote learners' social literacy skills. Following this, you will conduct an interview or survey on awareness of and opinions about cyberbullying. This activity applies the social skills discussed and prepares us for Unit 4E on cyber literacy. Process. Interview guides must be prepared ahead of time. Output. Group presentations reporting the results of the interviews conducted. Assessment and evaluation. Evaluation will focus on the accuracy of data gathered, clarity of reporting, and demonstration of social and people skills. Unit 4C, Media Literacy. Media literacy involves the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media responsibly. Its components include definition and aspects of media information literacy, or MIL. Dimensions of MIL. Advantages and disadvantages of media and information. Activity. We will conduct a carousel brainstorming activity. Small groups of students will rotate around the classroom, stopping at various stations for 1 to 2 minutes. At each station, students will activate prior knowledge, share ideas, and post their responses for all groups to read. Process. Groups will respond to guiding questions at each station. Output. Written group responses to questions, followed by small group presentations discussing the advantages and disadvantages of media and information, with reference to personal experiences. Assessment and evaluation. Evaluation will focus on the depth of responses, the relevance of examples, and the clarity of group presentations. In summary, Unit 4 Lessons B and C equip you with the ability to demonstrate social and people skills, and to critically evaluate media and information. Through lecture demonstrations, interviews, surveys, carousel brainstorming, and group presentations, you will practice applying these literacies in authentic contexts. Unit 4B runs during Week 8, and Unit 4C during Week 9. Welcome to Unit 4, Segments D and E of Building and Enhancing New Literacies across the curriculum. In these lesson segments, we focus on financial literacy and cyber or digital literacy, two vital literacies that prepare learners to thrive in both personal and digital domains. At the end of these lesson segments of this unit, you, as pre-service teachers, can design a workable financial plan, apply the principles of savings, investment, and valuing money in spending decisions, examine the ethical considerations of using digital media, demonstrate skills in the positive use of ICT to promote digital literacy, evaluate cyber threats, cases, and media use. Unit 4D will be implemented during weeks 10 to 12, and Unit 4E during weeks 13 to 14. Unit 4D, Financial Literacy. Financial literacy equips learners with the knowledge and skills to manage money responsibly. Its components include financial planning, goal setting, and valuing, budgeting, spending, and investing, savings and banking, avoiding financial scams, insurance and taxes, tips on being financially stable. Activity. You will be given a mock monthly income scenario along with a list of expenses, savings goals, and investment options. Process. Individually or in small groups, you will design a financial plan. You will fill out a matrix to input data on your finances, including savings. Your plan must show allocations for essentials, discretionary spending, savings, and investments. You will justify your choices based on principles of savings, investment, and valuing money. Output. A financial plan that reflects responsible budgeting and financial stability. Assessment and evaluation. Your financial plans will be assessed based on practicality, accuracy of allocations, and justification of choices. Unit 4E, Cyber/Digital Literacy. Cyber literacy prepares learners to navigate the digital world safely and responsibly. Its components include cyber citizenship in the digital age, internet safety, cyberbullying and cybercrimes, managing computer threats, researching and evaluating the web, social media use, mobile devices, digital traits, activity. We begin with a lecture demonstration on the positive use of ICT to facilitate teaching and learning. Process. You will engage in project-based learning. In groups, you will design and implement a project showcasing your skills in the positive use of ICT to promote learners' digital literacy. You will also evaluate cases of cyber threats, cyberbullying, and media misuse. Output. A group project demonstrating teaching strategies that highlight the positive use of ICT. Assessment and evaluation. Your projects will be assessed based on creativity, ethical application of ICT, and effectiveness in promoting digital literacy. In conclusion, Unit 4D equips you with financial management skills, while Unit 4E prepares you to be responsible digital citizens and educators. Through simulations, project-based learning, and examinations, you will practice applying these literacies in authentic contexts. Unit 4D runs during weeks 10 to 12, and Unit 4E during weeks 13 to 14. Welcome to Unit 4, Segments F and G of Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum. In these lesson segments, we focus on eco-literacy and arts and creativity literacy, both of which are essential for fostering sustainable development and nurturing creativity in the 21st century classroom. At the end of these units, you, as pre-service teachers, can explain the roles of eco-literacy, teachers, learners, and citizens in sustainable development. Demonstrate ways of preserving the environment. Display knowledge, skills, and values in arts and creativity through various forms and activities. Apply teaching strategies that promote learners' creative thinking. Unit 4F will be implemented during weeks 15 to 16, and Unit 4G during weeks 17 to 18. Unit 4F, Eco-literacy. Eco-literacy emphasizes awareness and responsibility toward the environment. Its components include eco-literacy and sustainable development. The 7 environmental principles. Making schools dark green schools through environmental education. Activity. We begin with film viewing. You will watch video clips on issues about the environment. These will serve as a springboard for designing an extension activity that demonstrates your concern for environmental preservation. Process. You will reflect on the film viewed. Environmental issues will be tackled in class to stimulate your concern for sustainability. Output. A reflection paper based on the film viewed, and an extension activity plan showing practical ways to preserve the environment. Assessment and evaluation. Your reflection papers and extension activities will be assessed based on depth of insight, creativity, and relevance to sustainable development. Unit 4G, Arts and Creativity Literacy. Arts and creativity literacy develops learners' ability to think innovatively and express themselves through multiple forms. Its components include visual literacy, eye, hand, and brain coordination, verbal creativity, visual creativity and aesthetics. Activity. We will conduct a lecture demonstration on teaching strategies that promote learners' creative thinking. Process. You will engage in project-based learning, working individually on a project that showcases your creativity. Projects may include designing materials using recyclables, integrating sustainability with creativity. Output. A demonstration project that highlights teaching strategies promoting creative thinking, supported by your own creative materials. Assessment and evaluation. Your projects and demonstrations will be assessed based on originality, effective application of teaching strategies, and integration of creativity with learning. In summary, Unit 4F equips you with eco-literacy skills for sustainable development, while Unit 4G nurtures your creativity and ability to design innovative teaching strategies. Through film viewing, reflection, extension activities, project-based learning, and demonstrations, you will practice applying these literacies in authentic contexts. Unit 4F runs during weeks 15 to 16, and Unit 4G during weeks 17 to 18. As we begin the course building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum, this semester, school year 2025 to 2026, it is essential to acknowledge the sources that will guide our learning journey. These references provide the foundation for the concepts, strategies, and literacies that we will explore throughout the learning plan. Printed materials. The following printed works have contributed significantly to our understanding. Bachrach, B. 2006. Values-Based Financial Planning. Aim High Publishing, California. Borodou, Milagros L. 2012. What Skills Do You Need for the 21st Century, Volume 1. Quezon City, Lorimar Publishing Incorporated. Carrion, Myrna L. 2012. Safeguarding the Environment, Our Earth, Our Home, Let's Go Green, Volume 1. Quezon City, Lorimar Publishing Incorporated. Far Eastern University, 2008. The Art of Teaching Best Practices. Manila, FA Publications. Lagos, A.T., Corpus, B., and Bilbao, P. 2016. Becoming a 21st Century Educational Leader. Lucido, Pazzi. 2012. Teaching New Literacy in a Digital Environment, Volume 1. Quezon City, Lorimar Publishing Incorporated. Lucido, Pazzi. 2013. Ethical Issues in Cyberspace, Volume 4. Quezon City, Lorimar Publishing Incorporated. Morales, Kathleen M. 2012. Multicultural Education, Volume 2. Quezon City, Lorimar Publishing Incorporated. Nisino, S. 2014. Money and Me. Right Conversations, Manila. Pasha, C.G. 2003. Personalized Education. Manila, Center for Educators Formation Publication. UNESCO, 2013. Media Information Literacy, Policy and Strategy Guidelines. Paris, UNESCO. Villarreal, Noemi M. 2012. Information Literacy, The Defining Paradigm of Modern Education, Volume 3. Quezon City, Lorimar Publishing Incorporated. Wilson, C., et al. 2011. Media and Information Literacy, Curriculum for Teachers. UNESCO, France. Electronic Materials. We also acknowledge electronic resources that have enriched our study. The K-12 Curriculum. Retrieved from Don Bosco Press. GURO 21 modules from Simio Innotech, Module 1, Module 1 Alternate Link, and Critical Attributes of 21st Century Education. UNESCO Communication and Information Sector, UNESCO website. Lindsay and Learning, Student-Led Discussion Strategies. AES Education, What Are 21st Century Skills? These references, both printed and electronic, provide the theoretical and practical grounding for our exploration of new literacies. They remind us that teaching and learning are collaborative endeavors, built upon the wisdom of scholars, educators, and institutions committed to advancing education in the 21st century.
As we continue with the course building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum, it is important to understand the grading system and performance standards that will guide our journey. These criteria ensure fairness, transparency, and accountability in assessing your progress. Additional or supplementary materials and activities. To support your learning, the following resources and activities will be utilized. Computers or laptops. TV monitors. Internet connection. Educational videos from YouTube. Outside the classroom activities. Service learning opportunities. Course requirements. Your final grade will be based on the following components. Class standing, this includes attendance and participation in class activities, weighted at 30%. Summative quizzes and performance tasks, these are also weighted at 30%. Quarterly examinations, this includes the prelims, midterm, semifinal, and final examinations, weighted at 40%. Together, these components make up a total of 100%. Performance standards and assessment criteria. Prelim grade, or PG. The prelim grade is computed as the average of quizzes, class standing, and the prelim test, divided by 3. Midterm grade, or MG. The midterm grade is calculated as 2 times the tentative midterm grade plus the prelim grade, divided by 3. The tentative midterm grade is the average of quizzes, class standing, and the midterm test. Semifinal grade, or SFG. The semifinal grade is calculated as 2 times the tentative semifinal grade plus the midterm grade, divided by 3. The tentative semifinal grade is the average of quizzes, class standing, and the semifinal test. Final grade, or FG. The final grade is calculated as 2 times the tentative final grade plus the semifinal grade, divided by 3. The tentative final grade is the average of quizzes, class standing, and the final test. Note, scores are transmuted to their equivalent grade, where at least 50% corresponds to the minimum passing grade of 75%. This grading system provides a clear and structured framework for evaluating your performance. It emphasizes consistency, participation, and mastery of concepts across all phases of the course. By understanding these standards, you will be better prepared to meet expectations and succeed in building and enhancing new literacies across the curriculum.